Hello, everybody. We are live. We are live. Can you hear me? Hi, Bonnie. To join my live program. This is interesting. Thank you, Moni. Welcome, Moni. Welcome, 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 welcome. We're waiting for orders. Ooh. Welcome, Joy. I'm Samuel. Welcome. Hi, Moni. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Adeyinka. Thank you from Advantage. Thank you, thank you. Well, let me resemble you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining your favorite teacher on our very first live IG session. Thank you, I appreciate it. I appreciate your comment. I appreciate you. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Monique. I love you too. I love you too. I love you too, Joy. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you. You look, you know now. You know. You know. Please, can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, type I can hear you. Um, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome to catching up with your favorite teacher. You're catching up, joining the moving train. You will not be left behind. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joy. Alimo, Ali, thank you. Our guest is here. Thank you, Flaky. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited. I'm super excited. Thank you so much. My mentors are on the live chat. It's gonna be interesting. Yes, I look forward to your thought-provoking questions, comments. We are gonna have fun too, okay? So light and keep it light and also serious, okay? I can't see the moms and daddies. Oh, I can't see the mommies and daddies. Can't see us yet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, yes, no mom is here. Welcome, 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 welcome. Uh, Hi, Samuel. Hi. So thank you for joining in a little while. In a short while, we'll be starting. Yes, we'll be starting because time is of essence, and of course, we don't want to waste our viewers' data, and we also want to be time conscious, and we also want this discussion and interaction to be value for your time. You know, we are very busy. Some of us had to run out of a very heavy traffic. Today was something else, but we thank God for keeping us. Thank God we made it. Thank you. I'm fine, Samuel. Thank you so much. So once it's in the next 3 minutes, we'll be starting. We'll be starting. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining in. We'll be starting very soon. Welcome. So yeah, while we are waiting for others, how have we been? How have we been keeping safe in this era of global pandemic? I know it has not been easy, but thank God, God is our strength. God is our shield. Thank you for your likes and your comments on this previous posts and all. Thank you so much. They are well appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we'll be starting in 1 minute. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. And I'm very sure that, yes, thank you, Munirat, for that. Yes, so my name is Oluwayemisi Adepoju. I am a teacher. I am an administrator and also a girl child advocate. Why are we here? One of the reasons why we are having this IG discussion is because of the challenges that I have observed and I have heard parents, teachers, administrators. Thank you, Alima. Administrators, vent out, stemming from the COVID-19 and its ripening impact and effect. Yes, and well, we are going to be having a discussion on how to glide through this season effortlessly. Yes, I know it's not easy. It's been data consuming. It's been very difficult, especially for those parents and guardians that are not so IT savvy. But today, that's bringing in our guest. She is a creative coach. I'll be talking about that in a little while, and she's going to be teaching us. She's going to be explaining to us how to ensure that we go to this season effortlessly. In short, how to catch up, because if you had read my previous post, I called it catching up. Yes, we are catching up because schools, educational institutions in more developed countries of the world, they have long since passed this stage, and so I'm saying that we are just jumping on the train, and even though we have to stand, because I don't think there is any seat left for us. If there is any, it's very limited. So we have to adapt very quickly. It may not be easy, but I'm here to help us out in this season. So we're going to be discussing creativity and the online classroom. We're going to be discussing strategies for parents, teachers, and also the students. Thank you so much, sis. Yeah, so I know that it has not been easy. It has not been easy for us parents and guardians, but by God's grace, we'll make it through. Stay encouraged. I want to use this opportunity to encourage parents and guardians. You are doing well. Please don't be discouraged. Don't stop. We are helping out these adorables, our children, to become better people and become better placed even at the labor market. So we are one of the vision of the pursuit of excellence is not just to churn out graduates with beautiful certificates and not being able to sell themselves. So we have a lot of graduates that are not employable. So I'm sure that when our students or our children or our wards have perfected this stage, it will be easier for them to glide into the labor market. Thank you so much. So right about now, I'll be introducing our guest. Her name is Folakemi Phillips. She's a brand storyteller and she's a creative coach. She's founder of Wordslinger NG. She's into branding. to help you with creating your story. And also, she's a creative teacher, so she's also a teacher. So she'll be teaching us how to make use of our tools at our disposal, then how to make learning fun for our adorables, how to help our children think creatively, and how to enjoy our educational process as a parent. Welcome, Chidinma. I hope you can still hear me. I hope you can still see me clearly. So I'll be inviting our guests, and yes. Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know. Me? If I go on. Okay. So yeah. So I'll be inviting Folakemi Phillips as our guest so that we can move on with why we are discussing today. Thank you so much. So we are waiting for our guest. Hi.
Hi, good afternoon.
Ah, wow, you look great.
Thank you. You too. You don't look too bad at all. You look amazing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So welcome Folakemi to our live discussion
Thank you
centered
for having
around.
me.
Yes, now when my coach herself has graced my conference. Let me put it that way. We academics, we always like to say conference. Okay, so so we are having this discussion centered around
Right.
creativity and the online
Mm-hmm.
classroom. So we would like to hear from you, and we'd like you to share insights about how parents, students, and even teachers can glide through this season effortlessly and post COVID-19.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yemisi. I must first of all commend you for putting this together at this critical time. I
Thank you
believe
so
that a
much.
lot of parents are going to have a mind shift by the time we are done with this session. First of all, I'll give a bit of a background. I remember when it became popular knowledge that there was this pandemic in town. At that point, we were calling it an epidemic. But then it became a pandemic because, it led to a state of emergency. And I remember that a number of people were a bit confused, worried, a lot of school owners, a lot of parents. It looked like it was going to be impossible to actually keep our little ones engaged while also doing our own work, as it were. And one thing that is constant, really, is change, right? And for you to fit into or to get to that point where you're adapting to change, you must be creative about a lot of things. You must understand that whether we like it or not, it has gotten to this point, and the best approach really will be to latch onto the tools at our disposal and ensure that things continue. It's not
Okay.
enough to complain. It's not enough to feel bad. The main thing that should pop up in the mind of anyone when such a challenge shows up is, how do we get out of this, or how do we make things better? So today we're going to be talking about different things you can do to ensure that the learning process, or the homeschooling process as it has become, is easy for parents. So the first question will be, what are the tools at the disposal of parents and teachers? That's the first question. And we need to understand that in the absence of moving around, or where there is no room to move around or to do things as we know, right, as we are used to, the next step will be to look around for tools. And thank God for technology. Thank God for social media. Thank God for a lot of platforms that give us room to express ourselves and still get the job done in spite of our inability to move around as we ought to. Now, a lot of parents are probably, wondering how their teachers, or the teachers of their little ones, expect them to balance working from home while also ensuring that schooling continues. This is where parents are, expected to have a conversation with the school administrators or the people in charge of the learning of their words. So it is not only about parents asking the school to tell them what to do. The parents too must learn to bring ideas forward. So for instance, the normal school period, or every day that a child goes to school, normally you drop your child at 8 a.m. and then you probably pick the child, say 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Now that is out of the equation.
Yes, sir.
And everybody will have to work with what they have in their houses. Thank God for Zoom. Thank God for WhatsApp call. Thank God for Google Meet. There are several and many platforms that we've had all this while that for some reason we've not explored because we did not see any need for it. But this is the time to then take a second look at these platforms and see how we can use them to meet these needs. For example, if we look at Google Needs, there's Google Meets, sorry. There's also another one, I think it's Google, if I remember it, I'm going to let us know. But it's also a Google platform. Google Classroom, thank you so much. Thank you, that's it. Google Classroom. And what is peculiar about the Google Classroom is the fact that you can put up a video and you can also time it in a way that your students are expected to submit as at when due. There's also the option of maybe when the student submits an assignment, there's that option where if the child feels that the work was not properly done, it can unsubmit it, redo the work, and then send it in. But of course, we all know that having this must be made possible by the parents. So let's assume that your child is of a particular age. You may have to supervise that child when it comes to doing this. So again, we can't take out the role of the parent. So how can parents really do this in a way that works for them, works for their children, and also encourages the teacher, who has also left all the things they are supposed to be doing to ensure that the children get some form of learning this period? One way would be to agree on a time. So maybe you want to consider having a class, a particular class, run from 10 a.m. to like 11 a.m. And then you set up the laptop, which I think is better. The laptop or a tab. You set it up for your child and then you school your child. You have a conversation with your child to prepare that child and let the child understand that, look, because of coronavirus, I can tell you that my son, who is 5, knows that there is something called coronavirus. Immediately that the pandemic became popular gist, he knew. And then we talked about it. I was like, look, there's something called coronavirus. This is what it is about. And I broke it down to his level. And then I also made him understand that, look, you have to wash your hands and you have to do this, you have to be very careful and whatnot. So when family members and friends call, when they call, to check on us. He's quick to let them know that, look, there's something called coronavirus in town and we are unable to go to school. Right? So parents will have to take it upon themselves to educate their children, have conversations with your little ones to let them understand why, things have changed from the physical setting to the online setting.
Yeah, sorry to cut you short, Folakemi, but the first nugget I shared in one of my posts is preparation, and the
Right.
place of emotional preparation can never be undermined. Like, you need to have
Never.
a conversation. I said it. Even if your child is 2 years old or 18 months, or they listen, they understand.
Yes,
They
they
understand.
do.
Just explain to them. Don't just assume they will know. Just explain to them. Prepare them. You're waking up. I'm going to be waking you up by 9 or by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. You have to have your bed, eat your breakfast, and be ready at the study table by so time, so that you can
Exactly.
connect. No matter the level of no matter their age or whatever class they may be at.
I agree. So, okay, thank you for that. That makes my work easier. So we've addressed that part. There's also the part of maybe you don't have a printer because there are a lot of activities that your child will be required to do and then submit. So let's assume you don't have a printer. And this is where you have to be creative about what you have at your disposal. So do you have a notebook? Do you have plain sheets? You can turn the back of a plain sheet, like an A4 paper. Maybe there's something on the front. There's something written at the front, on the front page. You can just turn the back, which is plain, and then trace the things your child is supposed to work on. Just trace it on that blank part and let your child work on it. Immediately the child is done, take your phone, take a picture of it, and then upload on the platforms for communication. Right? You don't have to endanger your life and go to maybe a business center to print, because you could also be exposing yourself and your little one to the risk of coronavirus. But if you take an A4 paper or you take a notebook and then you do that, you sketch whatever it is that you have been asked or your child has been asked to do, you sketch it there and your child works on it there, and then you take a picture and upload. That teacher will not tell you that you've not done well. Also, your child is going to feel like he or she has done something productive.
Sure.
Again, remember that the way a lot of schools do it is to have like a session where they have a conversation. Maybe they have some form of assembly, they share quotes, they sing the school anthem, and they just check on the welfare of the children. And then next thing, they say, okay, I think we are done for now. Your activities will come out. You find your activities on the platform. Please ensure that you do the activities, right? By the time you've removed that part, you can sit on the other side of the table with your laptop doing your own office work, and then you put your own child, you get your child busy with that activity that you have sketched on an A4 paper or in a particular notebook that you have put aside for online classes. You can do that. Also, let's assume that you're even done with classes, but you as a parent, you need to focus on your work. What are the things around the house that you can get your little one to do? Does your child like to write? Give the child a book and a pencil. Let the child write while you do your own work. Explain to your child and say, look, sweetheart, mom or daddy has to work, right? And keep them busy. We need to understand that times have changed. The children we have now are very expressive and they are very intuitive. So we need to nurture that.
Yes. Very intelligent generation.
Very intelligent, yes. And that's why I would even prefer for parents to maybe have like a dedicated laptop or a tab for these activities. And another thing is to ensure that your internet connection is monitored. You don't want your child to be quick to type in something on Google and then other pages are popping up, right? So you are also doing your work. The next thing will be to look for an educative game. It is also from the place of creativity that some programmers have developed certain apps that will keep your child busy. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. You know, I may not be able to mention names now because, of course, we have to focus. We don't want to give anybody free publicity, as it were. But you get my point. There are a lot of apps that encourage children to learn. Just download those apps on your phone and then turn off your internet connection. If it's not a phone, it could be on the tab, a tab dedicated to teaching these children. Download those games, ABC games, 1, 2, 3 games, even games that teach children how to type. You know, there are games that are, you know, that encourage children to repeat certain sounds and whatnot. Even mathematics, there are apps like that for different subjects. You can set up those apps on your tab and then let the child have it while you do your own work, right? Okay, someone is asking that I share some apps. I'll need to check and then get back to you on that, right? But there are a lot of educative games. I know, Ife. We'll get to that, don't worry. Then another thing that you can do is to take advantage of videos. There are also, if you check your televisions, right? There's a lot of televisions these days have a slot for flash drives or external hard drives. You can download a lot of engaging videos. Just have them there so that your child can just watch and then time it. Let your child know that, oh, you'll be watching TV for the next maybe 15, 20 minutes after you finish your activity. Put the child there and let the child just watch. And immediately the child is done, you summon the child and ask the child some questions. So what did you learn? If your child is also very creative, if your child is likes stories, you can engage your child and say, you know what, write a story for me and I'll give you this. Look, it should not more be a case of how I wish this COVID thing will go away. Even when it goes, children may not be able to resume for the next few months. So we as parents must take out time to really understand what we can do to engage them. There's that also. How else can you teach your child? You can give your child activities around the house, little activities that you think their age range can handle. For example, give them a napkin, wipe the table, or give them a mop. You just mop that spot, or join me in the kitchen, right? Some of the, there's a platform called abcya.com, because I know Ife has asked me to share certain things. abcya.com is an online platform that teaches children how to type on a laptop or a tab while teaching them the sounds of the alphabet. There's also a section of ABCya that engages children to form letters into words. So you can consider that, based on how old your child is. But for the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to stay within the bounds of, say, 2 to 5, because I know that if you have any child under 5, it's usually difficult to let them do things on their own. So for that reason, we'll be staying within that band, except, of course, Dr. Yemisi asks us to stretch it further. But yes, there's abcya.com. I'll need to get back to us on some other ones because I really can't remember the names, but I have some of them on my phone. So I'll be able to give, to share with Dr. Yemisi, and she will share on her page so that parents who really want to take a look at that will be able to pick apps and then websites from there. There's another website where you can upload. There's also an app called Kahoot. I think it's called Kahoot, where you can, with which you can engage your child. I'll need to check and then get back to us on that. Also, it's very important to carry your child along. And this period is basically for us to bond with our children, whether we like it or not. But if it says some children are just approaching 1, well, you may have to get out their toys for them. Let them play with their toys. But you have to set it up in a way that you help them engage with that toy, to promote color coordination, hand movements and whatnot. So you may need to pay attention to the different toys that you have available and then get your child started on it. That's for people whose children are like under 1. But there are a lot of things, even to the littlest of having a child play with tissue. There are some children, when they see tissue, they just tear it into little bits. It's also teaching them something. It's going to teach them eye coordination, the way the eyes will follow things, and it will also help them to work with their hands more. So if your child is not of that age range where you are exposing them to television or maybe tabs, you can look for little things around the house. You can set up something for them to just scribble. Yes, you can use toys. You can have them scribble. Just get them a notebook or maybe A4 papers, and then put a pencil there. If the child is able to hold on to the pencil a certain way, it's going to teach them grip. You're an administrator, Dr. Yemisi, you know what I'm talking about. It's going to teach them how to use their fingers to hold things in place. So even if the child is little, there is always something that you can do to encourage that child. Now, if the child is really grown, if you have a whiteboard at home, you can give them a marker to just write. If you don't have a whiteboard, you can create something. You can stick the A4 paper to a space on a cardboard, exactly, and then have them just scribble on it. Apart from that, you can hand them a scissors that is not so sharp and supervise them. Watch them cut out some shapes that you draw on the cardboard. That way, you're going to teach them how to coordinate their hands and also use their eyes at the same time. So they'll be able to learn the bit of using your mind and then using your hand to do things at the same time, which is basically creativity. What else can we also do to make learning fun? Ensure that the products or the toys you work with have a lot of colors. That way, it's not going to be boring to the child.
Yes.
Right? You may need to factor that in. Also, there are some apps. There's a Bible app. YouVersion has this app for children that reads stories to them.
Yes.
Right? I can't remember the particular name, but I know it is an app by YouVersion, and I use that every other night. So, I use that with my children. You can play that because it's animated. It's an app that has animated movies, little clips like that they interact with, and then it comes with activities, questions to help them retain what they have read, and they also get to pick up gems along the way. So they will just click on it. If it's on the tab or on the phone, they'll be able to interact with it. There are also Bible not Bible stories, bedtime stories. There's an app like that, bedtime stories, that reads to the children. All you have to do is just download it and set it up on your phone. If you can sit with them, why not? You sit with them. If you have to work, you give them something that is going to engage them. Remember, when you have these moments with your child, it's not only about marking a register and saying that, okay, my child has learned something today. It's also you spending time with your child. But you can have like pockets. I didn't get that.
Just what I was about to say. Everything you have just discussed with us is centered around spending time with your child.
Exactly. But if another thing you can do if your child is has started talking, if you have like a tripod, or if you can set your phone or a little camera on a windowsill or on the table, just set it up in a way that it is self-timed. So just tell your child to present something to you, even while you are doing your work. You can just teach them, if you want to stand in front of the audience or in front of a crowd to articulate your thoughts, this is how you stand. You introduce yourself. My name is Titi, and today I'll be talking about this. Thank you. When you continue to do that and take a video on your phone or on your camera, you are improving confidence in that child. At the same time, you are helping the brain of that child to open up. The way the brain is such an amazing, organ that increases or kind of like absorbs things that will feed it with. And if you are able to help your child to identify with the importance of feeding their brains by talking and doing certain things, you make the life of that child easier. You stimulate self-confidence in that child. So you can teach them how to present, right? You can show them presentations on your laptop. You can show them presentations on your phone, and then you say, you know what? I want to take a video of you. Tell me about this. And you make up stories in the simplest ways available. Oh, Titi, tell me about this pillow. And let Titi talk about the pillow as if the pillow is a friend or a living thing. That way, you're teaching that child the importance of storytelling, and you're opening up that child to the possibility of using words to create magic for themselves. Right? There is that. You can also have them help the two of them to bond. So if you have maybe one or two children, you can give the two of them that is going to stimulate some form of team. Say, you know what, you sweep, packer. One person holds the packer, the other person holds the broom, and then they keep that place as it. So there is that. Everything available, everything within our means is for us to use to make things happen. Right? And it's very important that we don't take such things with levity. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I think I've taken a number of minutes, and I'll be waiting for Dr. Yemisi to prompt me to, redirect my thoughts so that I don't spend too much time talking about one thing, because once I get started, I can, talk about it. I can talk for like an hour because yes, I teach. It's my work. So Dr. Yemisi,
Now as a teacher.
over to you. Exactly.
Yeah, so how can so you have given us the parent student angle. What about the teacher's angle?
Okay, beautiful. Like I said earlier, it will then depend on the timeline you have allotted to the teachers relating with the children. Right? Can you hear me? Okay, great.
Yes.
So it will depend on that. And then you can have the teacher conversations with this, asking them about their well-being, and also asking what they are doing with their time. Hi, Dr. Yemisi.
Finally, we are back. I'm so sorry. That was the network.
I figured. That's okay.
So we were saying, we were talking about how
teachers and their students.
Yes. Tools at their
Even
disposal.
when I saw that your network was a bit, yes, have conversations with them, have some form of feedback session with them. Ask them how they have enjoyed the activities that they've been asked to do and what they have learned from the different activities. That way, you make the child understand that it's not only about you marking register as a teacher or telling yourself, okay, I've done enough work to get my salary. You're also interested in how the child, is able to manage himself or herself this period. You can also ask, oh, do you still wash your hands? And if there's a song about hand washing, you teach them. That way, you are reminding them that, look, you may be home, but you have that responsibility to keep yourself safe and also look out for your parents. You can, if you have like a network of teachers that can be available at different points, you can allot timelines to them. Maybe you're like 3 or 4 teachers. If one of them can play a musical instrument, it makes your work easy. While you people are seated having some form of assembly with these little children who have logged on to Zoom or Skype or Google Meet using their parents' device, you can have the music teacher play something. Right? You can ask the children, give us a song. What song should the music teacher play? And then if you know the way children are, they can say, oh, well, Auntie, we want Mary as a little lamb. Okay, a music teacher, play Mary as a little lamb. And then the teacher will play, right? If you also offer music as a subject, you can write out the notes for the children, type out the notes and say, you know what, go and use your recorder to learn this. Even if they don't have, whatever instrument they have available, let them play that song on that musical instrument. That way, and then you tell them to send in a video of them, playing the music, playing the song that you have allotted to them. They're going to be excited. Also, there are little science experiments that you can have them do. You can have them, draw something on cardboard, take a picture of it, and then send via WhatsApp. That way, you are helping that child to grow a measure of confidence. And at the same time, you are keeping that child busy. You're keeping that child busy. And every time you come online to have a video conversation with the child, you remind that child that, look, it's only a physical kind of separation. We are still here. We are here for you. If you have questions for us, reach out. If you think that there is something you want to talk about, reach out. So that way the parents are balanced, the children are balanced, and the teachers, of course, are balanced. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, and well, some of these parents are not actually tech savvy or um, IT savvy, or they do not actually. I've had parents complain to me that I just see a lot of WhatsApp chats from my students and my daughter, and they sent me a link. I don't know how to set it up, and
Oh,
so
wow.
and so on. So, what would you advise? Like, what would you give as an insight or as a solution to that problem?
So one bit would be to, first of all, allay the fears of any parent or teacher. These things, simply because you're not used to them, doesn't mean that it is difficult to use. You can always go on Google to type in how to do ABC, and then you can resolve that. If you cannot do that, you can reach out to other parents or other teachers in your circle and come clean. Let them know that you don't know how to do this thing, right? They can call you and say, okay, this is how you will do it. Or they can even tell you, you know what, let's have a video WhatsApp call. and just take you through the basic things. You need to understand that even when things look strange, it's an open mind that really matters. If your mind is open, there is nothing you cannot learn. If you have an open mind, there is nothing you cannot learn. That's the truth. Also, if you as maybe a school administrator, if for some reason, well, it doesn't even have to be for any reason, you should do some form of training for your teachers to assist them. Because it is one thing to say you are not too good with tech things. It's another thing to then leave these people without any form of assistance. So you can have an online training for them and allay their fears. Look, the reason a lot of people struggle with things is because they think those things are difficult. But if they find a willing person to take them through, they will be able to, navigate. They will find their way around it and they will do what they're expected to do. However, like I said, if you then realize that a lot of people are not tech savvy, where they cannot click links, like I said the first time, ask them what they have in their houses. Let them use a pen or a pencil to do the work on a plain sheet or on a notebook, and let them take a picture, a clear picture of it, and send to you, and accept that. There is nothing is cast in stone. Rules were made for humans. It doesn't mean that when you make a rule, you then say it is this way or no way at all. No, you must be empathetic enough to also ask yourself that, look, if these people are unable to click the links as expected, how can we carry them along? You can also send videos on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is like basically easy to use. You can download the videos instead of setting up the link. Download the video and just upload and have them watch it. Let them watch it. Tell them that, oh, their children should watch it. And then maybe do the activity tied to it.
Thank you so much. And I would like to also chip in for parents that maybe their schools don't have this online platform. Because, yes, many of my mentees, many of students, especially from public schools, reach out to me that my school can't set up all this LMS learning module system. Yes, and I'm sure that this would spur leaders empowered to upgrade the standard of education even in our public schools. And well, they can join. I remember that we have radio classes because I tuned
Yes,
into
that's true.
7.5 recently, and they were teaching English, they were teaching dictation, grammar, they were teaching mathematics, and even on I think Dove TV, yes, this redeemed station, they also share. Um, they
Even
have
DSTV. DSTV has
yes,
different learning stations for children. There's
yes.
PBS Kids. There's a channel called Mindset. There's a channel called Mindset where they teach a lot of things. It's just that it is per grade, so you can just check through the program info to find one that is suitable for your child.
Yes. So in
There are a
case
lot
your
of
school comes with a learning module system, I will use this opportunity to also encourage schools. So it's not been easy. At least I can
it's
say
not.
I can say that it's not really been easy. Some of our parents are complaining that the data consumed is too much. That they are struggling to make ends meet. We've had parents that have not been paid for the past 3 months, and so
That's true.
their priority is how to feed, right? So
Hmm.
for parents like that, we're still saying stay encouraged, stay stay strong. You
Mm-hmm.
can you have highlighted other alternatives. You have highlighted other alternatives for your child to learn. Even though I know these days, if you notice that the rate at which our network provider swallows data is very
In
alarming also.
fact,
Yes,
that's why there should be an offline option as well that they
yes,
can work with and then turn in the activities. You know, it
yes,
is just at the point of turning in the activities that they will turn on their data and just share.
yes, yes. And also sometimes um, some parents also reached out to me that it's hard for them to actually um, um, allow or measure or control the concentration of their children. You know, many of these our adorables, they are very, very hyper. You see them with their
That's true.
1 minute they're at the table, the other minute, their mommy, I want juice, I want tea, I'm tired, I want to sleep. You know, some of them are not so used to this the new way of learning. And they are used to
That's why there should
teacher
be a
saying,
timeline.
yes, yes,
There should be a
yes,
timeline.
yes, most schools have their online classes between 9 to 1, and they will some of
That's
these
too
children
long.
go, yes, it's long. And sometimes I'm always my words at home, I'm like, when are people finishing this online this
It's too
online
long. They need to reconsider.
yes, it's very, very long and it's very, very tiring. So if you're a teacher, you're an administrator, you can please reconsider. Well, 9 to 1 is not long for secondary school students actually, of
Okay,
university
no,
students.
for secondary school is fine, but for for this our little ones, you have
Yes.
you can have breaks in between, but 9 to 1, come
Ah,
on.
yes, so and then they will have to. One of my hairdresser showed me because
Almost
I had
everyone
to.
is climbing on top of the fridge now.
No, I think that should be Missy Oluwa. That should be Missy Oluwa that is climbing up.
Oh dear.
She has to be the one,
Give
you
her,
know.
tell her to color. She has to color something. Or give
Yes,
her
so
a book and a crayon to color.
yes, so yes, so and you know, many of these our many of these our adorables, they can even sleep off. They can sleep off. You know, I have a lot of children staying with me. Some of them will, I will see, are you dozing? And sometimes I'm tired. So I have to sometimes I give
Because it's tiring.
snacks. um,
How old is your baby?
I
Diola is
cannot,
saying a baby cannot sit for 3 minutes straight.
so,
How old is your baby, Diola?
I think it should be two.
Give the child work.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. So many of them can even, so they are hyper. Some of them sleep off. You know, some of them cannot cannot just sit still for 1 minute. You know, even to watch cartoons. Somebody was telling me that even to watch Barney and Friends. The last time my baby is here to paper. I know today
Then
can do that.
look for what was that thing? That's play-doh. 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 Let the child form things with play-doh. If the child cannot, if you cannot trust the child with play-doh, give the child what's it called, flashcards to look at. If not, look for audio programs that they can listen to. Let them sit down and listen to it. If they cannot do that, give them a small space. Let them jump. You two jump with them. After you people jump, they will calm down. Then you take them back to continue the work. Because you
And
have
the thing is that
to to catch a monkey.
you have to become a working. Do you know
So jump with them.
you jump with them. And apart from that, some of these our adorables likes to jump. They don't get tired. Ah, I tried it one day and I said, okay, God bless you, thank you. You know, many of these children they have a lot of energy. They cannot just okay. Let me give you an example. One of my words at home was giving fill in the gaps, and within 1 minute he has finished. Where did you? Then I looked at it. he did not even do it well. Why? Because his mind is, I want to go and play ball. I want to go and I want to go hungry. His brain is already telling him to do the next activity. So so that's it. So with the solutions that you have highlighted, I think we should have a better, by the time we are having our next live video, next live session, we should have a good report and a better testimony. Yola, this your baby is adorable.
This your baby, eh? We need to ask that baby. There has to be something that that baby likes to do, actually, apart from
Yes.
jumping. There has to be something else that the baby likes to do. There needs to be something else. If it is to play with water, put them somewhere, let them play with the water while you sit down and you are doing your own work and watching them with one side, with your side eye. But there has to be something that interests that baby. And you need to find it. Also, you need to check if it's possible that that child may be too sensitive to TV and all that. So you may need to regulate the time. So give them something else that they can do offline.
Okay. Thank you so much.
If they have drums, let them play the drums. See, they like to jump, they have energy. Give them drums, let them bang drum. Abi?
Yeah, thank you so much, Samuel. Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
For this very informative, educating, enlightening. I learned a lot of things.